Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, March 31st, 2024. Happy Easter this morning for all who celebrate new beginnings, beautiful flowers, fresh starts. And that is our topic today. Repent, forgive, and celebrate. Life is meant to be like that. It is not meant to live in a state of being hard on yourself, of not forgiving yourself and your past, of holding on to grudges to others, about others. It's not about feeling bad about yourself, about measuring your worth based on what others may say or feel. You are automatically worthy. You're automatically perfect. You're automatically loved. And today we celebrate rebirths. We celebrate new beginnings. We celebrate today, hopefully in some way, the sun. And the celebration of just being alive and being grateful and all the blessings. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com for all about my work, all about how to schedule an appointment. I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp, and you may be listening to this through Facebook at my business page under Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium. Welcome, welcome. So we're taught about our sin and that we're born in sin. And gosh, I think by the time we're born, a lot of us, we are told that we're not good enough in some way, that we have to fear and to worry. And that is just the furthest from the truth. There is in no way a truth of that. We are given dogma, very much, but we are also been taught truth. It always was interesting to me when I was a very small child. It didn't make sense to me that I was told literally in the same sermon how much of a sinner I was as a young child, but also at the same time how much I'm loved. And the two didn't go together. The angry God mixed with the loving God. There was always a contradiction going on. And I remember saying to myself when I was very young, again a child, there is no way that I am more loving or more forgiving of others than this God I hear of. That doesn't make sense to me. Isn't this a more powerful force? Isn't this a loving force, a source? So there's no way that I could be a better person than God. And don't children have such a wonderful capacity to love? They laugh so easily. They love so easily. They forgive so easily. They're just pure. So I want you to keep that in mind if you do live with the fear of not being good enough. The fear of death. There is no need to fear. And I can tell you that because I would never deceive you. I am learning as I go along, but I have learned this. There was a moment in time once, and for those of you who have listened to this podcast before, you know this story. There was a time when I did get to experience the wonder of heaven for just a moment and not nearly long enough, I didn't want to come back. It was such immeasurable love. It was such adoration. I was welcomed home just for a moment. That is heaven. It is home. It is immeasurable love, acceptance, adoration. It is unconditional. Now you may wonder with your mind, what about those who are not good people? Well, that's handled. The thing is, and it may be hard for some to grasp, all energy is loved unconditionally. It doesn't mean that they want to be of heaven, because sometimes we can keep ourselves from home, but they are loved unconditionally. And I too have to remind myself of that sometimes. But there's karma. There's consequences. What you put out, you get back, and you can't wish for it for another. You can't rejoice in it. It is very important not to rejoice in the suffering of another, even if it is karmic. I observe it. It is important to observe it and to know that the energies of heaven are at work always. Always. There's always a larger picture going on. There's always a bigger story. Do you know, all of us on this earth have blocks. We have blocks that we need to heal because of what we were taught by religion. And it's not to say it is all bad. There is great community in religion, group prayer, service, mercy at times. But often, again, it gives us feelings of unworthiness, of self-hatred, not being good enough. And then we have what our inner circle will tell us, whether it be our parents passing on their story to us, teachers, friends, bosses, throughout our life. Other children at times, passing on their pain that they've received. And we grow up with this feeling of not being good enough. Work every day, if you will, on that feeling of I am good enough. I am more than enough. And when I tell you to repent, it is not about feeling bad, even though repent can mean that. It is not about feeling bad about where you've been before, what you have done, even who you have harmed. Acknowledge it. Even grieve it. Feel the emotions of it. And then forgive. First yourself, and then any others. We often have to forgive ourselves first and foremost, and we often do not think to do that. But that is even more important than forgiving someone else. And it's very important to know, and I don't dismiss great harm that has been done to people. And if, whether that be abuse or not. But it's very important to know at the same time that someone who is harmed, has been harmed, harms. Someone who has had pain inflicted upon them inflicts pain. Someone who has been abused is often an abuser. It doesn't dismiss it. It doesn't make it right. It's just important to understand that a hurt person hurt you, whether it be in a small way or in a large way, and to come to understanding as much as you can and compassion for that. You know, today, Jesus rose from the dead at sunrise, and he forgave everyone. He forgave them before they asked to be forgiven. And I'm sure when he was in the garden awaiting to be taken away, he forgave himself for all that he tried to do, for all that he didn't do, for all that he wanted to get done. He forgave also all that harmed him or let him down. He was a pure love. And it's very important for us to understand that we are also made with pure love. It is deep within us. It is there. We are Christ within. I dare to say that. It is very true. But we have to know it. We have to live our lives knowing it and allowing it to spring forward, allowing it to direct our lives. My guides tell me a lot. They tell me a lot. They remind me actually a lot, I should say, to swell with love, to feel the blessings, to feel gratitude. It is so important every day to have a gratitude journal, to write down what you're grateful for, even if it's the smallest stuff. It is important to see others with love. It doesn't, by the way, mean that you have to have them in your life, that you have to allow them to mistreat you. It just means that you don't wish them negativity, that you don't feel anger or rage, that you understand and that you wish them well, and that you wish them happiness, and that you see them of the source of love that they are, the source of God's child that they are. We are all made in the image and likeness of our Creator. Again, Christ within, God within. See your fellow man much like that, even if they test you, even if you're brought to the brink. Take a moment in that moment and try to see them with the immense love, the immense love that you would want bestowed on you, that you would want to be given, that you would want to be blessed with. If you can do that, you will see such blessings come into you. They will multiply. And you cannot watch for them. I find I've been doing that the last couple of days. I'm watching too much. You can't. You just have to know they're yours, and that they will come in their own divine timing, in their own divine way. Celebrate life. Celebrate that you're here. Celebrate that you have a purpose, even if you're not sure about it. Celebrate love. Celebrate breathing. Celebrate the smallest stuff. And you will find many more things to celebrate. And life will reward you. Now, I love to have reinforcement of studies. I am a student. And I've had to leave some study groups recently because they speak a lot about how do I get that? How do I get them? They see the blessings, the things to celebrate, the victories outside of them. You have asked for goodness. It is yours. Whatever you ask for is yours as soon as you ask for it. You do not have to wish for it. You do not have to think about if you will be lucky enough to receive it, good enough to receive it. It is yours just by asking. So it's very important to know this and to walk around feeling, milking, warm and fuzzy, all the feelings of warmth, gratitude, blessings, forgiveness, excitement about life, living in the moment, living fully. It is so important. And when you do that, the things that you would look for on the outside, they just show up. They show up in your 3D material life, your physical life. We're used to being separate. We're taught we're separate. The Course in Miracles says, the study guide, the book, that our ego separated us. It told us we were separate, and so we look for separation all around us. But we're not separate. We are one. We are whole. You are one with God. You are one with Christ. You are one with His Mother. You are one with the wholeness and the oneness of the universe. But you have to allow yourself to be there, to feel it, to connect to it. There are so many people now that can connect into it. You can call it quantum physics, or just higher dimension, or higher consciousness. But they connect into it and all healing takes place. They are healing cancers. They are healing mobility. I even saw a testimonial yesterday where a man healed erectile dysfunction. I said, you go, guy. Good for you. We can heal anything we set our mind to, but we can't do it by force, and we can't do it by a form of separation. We do it by joining together fully with that oneness. And you know you're there if you feel light, if you feel like you're floating, if you feel like all of your burdens and worries have dropped away, then you know you've got it. And then you affirm your healing. I am healed. I am healthy. I am cured. And if you have burdens that are material, I am free. I am wealthy. Bob Proctor, the great teacher, said that you should start all your affirmations with, I am so happy and grateful. See? Gratitude again. I am so happy and grateful I am wealthy. I am so happy and grateful I am loved. I am so happy and grateful I have my perfect home and my perfect life. I love life. Talk to yourself in this way. Know the power that you have. You are a queen or a king. You do not have to change in order to be good enough. You do not have to earn the keys to heaven. You do not have to worry about mortal sin. And I know there are people on this earth that are breaking every commandment. They're probably getting to that wonderful home too. Most likely. Why would you not be good enough to go as well? Remember, unconditional. What you desire is yours to have. Now, reminder again, and I know I don't need to, because I have such wonderful people that listen to my podcast. But yes, energy is energy. And when you put out energy that is more negative, you get it back. If you put out lack, you get back lack. If you put in, lack is poverty. If you feel poor, you will continue to feel poor. If you celebrate another's harms, something will happen to harm you. It takes care of itself. It really does. It's kind of on autopilot. So don't think as you walk around this world, don't think, well, is it right, is it fair that someone who breaks every commandment gets to go to home? It's all taken care of. It's all taken care of. And you have the right to know you're loved. You have the right to be powerful. You have the right not to blame yourself for your past misdeeds, bad decisions that just didn't honor you. So look at the life that you've had, and if necessary, reframe it. And what I mean by that is, do not feel bad and dwell on what you've done before, but how can you now make it better? And forgive everything and everyone, and then celebrate life as if you're free from the cage. Put your arms up and say, woohoo! And then be kind to your neighbor as much as you have to be kind to yourself. And live as if the gate's wide open and the time is short. And celebrate the fact that you're alive. And in any moment, in any day, there is always something to be grateful for. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the happiest, most joyful people are the ones that have limitations? And we are in all of them. It doesn't matter what limitations we have. We all deserve, we all have the power to feel joy. And when I say limitations, I don't mean self-enforced ones or self-beliefs. I mean ones where you may not be able to walk, or you're dealing with a diagnosis, or anything that is more to deal with. Find the joy, find the happiness, find the freedom. And that's what we're in awe of people who do, because they teach us the truth about life, the truth about how it truly is. Learn from those around you. We are all teachers to each other. I noticed recently, the last few days, how kind everyone has been to me. Strangers. And also people I know. And yes, of course, there are also people that will not be considerate. But I've noticed much more consideration lately. And it brings me happiness. I even had a man yesterday. He swung around in front of me and we almost collided with our cars. And I made a pursed lips. I was like, Why'd you go and do that? But his reaction was amazing. He just went overboard in his car to get my forgiveness, charm me. He had me in such a state of, he had me laughing. And yet a moment before, it wasn't like that at all. I came home talking about him. It's how we all should be. We all should have moments where we go, oh, oops. I like you. Have a good life. Live good. And then people let me go in traffic, and it was just a good day. Sometimes it's not always that way, is it? But see the moments that are that way. Because the more you see of what you love, the more you will get of it. So important. So today, on this wonderful day of new beginnings, of new starts, of celebrations, of rebirth, rebirth yourself. Whatever needs to be born again, give birth to it. Smile. Feel joy. Raise your arms in gratitude. And begin again. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you so very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and many, many blessings. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And you can also please share it, if you will, off of my Facebook business page. And be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. And I hope to see you in some way in the future, because most appointments are available not only in person, but also via Zoom and by telephone. Thank you, thank you. A wonderful day. Until next time.